What's up, crypto fam? Phantom, I'm going to take a look at the market. For today, there's been a lot of news for today. I think it's going to continue over the weekend. Um, the Fear and Greed Index is just chilling at 26. It hasn't budged from yesterday. There's not a there's a lot of news going on, but there's not a ton going on with the market itself. It's kind of just bouncing up and down. It's not doing anything really substantial. There's just not a ton of volume. I can show you what I mean. One sec. Let me pull this up as a daily. Yeah, you can see here. The volume, just even for all day yesterday, just it wasn't there. So there's not really anything, I think, volume wise to push the market one way or another. So I think we kind of chill in this area for some time until the volume really starts kicking in. There are probably quite a few people waiting for the weekly close on this to see if it closes bullish or bearish. To me, it looks like it's really close to flipping into a strength move, but I say that cautiously just because of how much is going on in the world today. All the other altcoins, it's not really worth looking at altcoins until Bitcoin really stabilizes and starts some type of substantial upward movement. The altcoins are dependent on Bitcoin doing well still. The dominance is such that really there's outliers every once in a while that can do well, but if you're making plays on any type of altcoins, you always want to keep Bitcoin in mind. Take a look and make sure that Bitcoin's still in type of bullish or some type of sustained structure before jumping into altcoins to flip them, unless you're planning on shorting, of course. So yeah, we're just kind of sitting around the 38, 39K area. We touched 40 yesterday. But as far as the news, I posted about this. CNN Business kind of attacked Bitcoin, which isn't overly surprising. They're saying that financial sanctions are easier than ever for Russia to evade because they can use Bitcoin. Which is true and also not true. Bitcoin is, it's used to pay for specific things, but most people withdraw it as to some form of currency, and then use those currencies to pay for whatever they're wanting to pay for. Just because the mass adoption hasn't really kicked in. It is more present in places like Russia, but I think that this is kind of attacking and off-putting because it doesn't really state that, it's decentralized, so governments can't stop Russia from using it, but on the flip side of that equation, governments also can't punish their people for protesting for what they think is right. That overwhelming power gets used against the people of said government more often than governments use it against other governments. So I think for them to attack it and frame it in this way around a wartime is really, it's kind of slander. I guess it's written so libel. They're not talking about the Bitcoin wallets that are set up to, help Ukraine, to give the support there, and all the people on crypto Twitter that are making donations to try to support Ukraine, to try to supply them with weapons or whatever we can do. Which is a huge benefit of cryptocurrency, right? Because, during the COVID times, how many fake charities were set up for COVID victims or COVID relief, or helping deprived areas, and then the money's just stolen and gone forever. That's people putting hard-earned dollars into something that they'll never get back. But we hear about those stories few and far between. One of the benefits of blockchain is, since the wallet's out there for you to donate, you can watch the wallet. You can see if the money's not moving anywhere, or if the wallet's going to locations that don't really make sense. If it's going to a specific charity or something like that, those specific charities can have their own wallet set up so that you can see the money is going where it should be going. You can verify. Anybody can verify. It's a public ledger. So it's a really powerful tool, and I think this just puts the darkest cloud over it, when it has so many good things that it offers. They talk in this article about how stable the dollar is. Well, yeah, but it's also going through inflation that's never been seen, and it's printed off and it's not backed by anything, so really the value of it is meaningless. There's no static amount. They just continue to print more. So how does it continue to hold its value if you print more and more and more of it? So I thought it was kind of a crooked article. I have been excited about the world kind of gathering behind Ukraine. I think it's fantastic. Anonymous was in the news. Anonymous has hacked into Russia TV, and it's broadcasting the truth of what's happening in Ukraine. It's posting, or it's playing Ukraine music over the airways. They have hacked into just about all of Russia's government websites and taken them all down. And they've mentioned that they're gonna continue doing it throughout the days and maybe even weeks to come. And the citizens of Ukraine are standing up to Russia. Russia is pushing hard on Kiev, and Anonymous and the world is doing everything they can do. Elon Musk even came out saying that he granted Starlink for everybody in Ukraine, which, if you don't know what that means, it's basically satellite internet. Russia tried to suppress the internet in Ukraine, and Starlink gives access to all the Ukrainian citizens to one of the best internets out there, and it's satellite driven, so there's nothing that they can do to stop it. Anonymous has posted to the Ukraine citizens to show the geolocation, because that's how Russia's tracking their gatherings and finding out where to focus their targeting. So while it's a bloody awful war, I think it's bringing the world together, and a lot of people are standing behind Ukraine. There's been a Bitcoin account that I mentioned that's been set up. A lot of people are donating to, and that's all going to go towards the effort of helping Ukraine purchase more weapons, purchase things to help the community. So, yeah, check crypto Twitter. That's for sure out there. I think they've even been removed now from the SWIFT banking system. So Russia's getting punished left, right, and center. for this move. Even China at this point isn't backing them. They are essentially fighting the entire world at this point, and I think they thought this was going to be a very easy move and take what they wanted of Ukraine, and it's turned into the entire world fighting against them. And I don't think they really predicted this type of outcome. That said, the world has come together. The world is against Russia. Even Russian citizens are against Russia at this point. I just hope that his ego's not too bruised, that he continues pushing to a point where it gets even more dangerous than it is. Kind of backed into a corner type of deal. So I'm hoping he makes sense of this and stops what he's doing, and pulls everything back. So I think I'm gonna say the same that I said yesterday and the day before. I think it's gonna take a momentum shift in the global news for a real momentum shift in cryptocurrency. As awful as this world is, it is bringing people together, though, which wars sometimes do. It's definitely giving recognition to the power and freedoms offered by Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies of the world. But yeah, without Bitcoin really moving anywhere or getting any type of volume that's substantial, there's not a ton to discuss. Not a ton of altcoins to look at. A lot of them that I've been looking at are kind of at their support levels. I hope that doesn't change. I hope they can continue to kind of sit in their support levels. I think comp is a fantastic buy around here if Bitcoin can hold, and after this new settles move up, I think comp is a great buy here. I think VeChain is a good buy here. I think pull VeChain chart. Yeah, VeChain's just about hit, and Atom's a great project that I've mentioned on this stream before. You can almost, over the past, I don't know, maybe 2-3 months, you can kind of set your watch to, buying it in the $25 area, selling it in the $35 area religiously. I don't know how long that will continue, the up and down trend, but I mean it's happened quite a few times. It has big losses, big gains, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. But yeah, eventually it's going to break this pattern. It's not going to just kind of chill in this channel forever. But definitely one that I'm watching. One is another one that I'm watching. I think it'll do big things once you pull out of this. But really all eyes should be on Bitcoin. I drew this support level that I think we will hold this. I don't think I'm hoping it doesn't close below the support level for the weekly. If it does, I'll be a little bit more nervous, but if it does hold and does do its job, I wouldn't mind it closing looking the way it does now at 38, 39k. I think that's a healthy close for the weekly, and sets us up for more upward momentum is my hope. So a lot of people were out on Twitter posting they knew 40k wouldn't break, but if you look at the charts yesterday, there wasn't even any volume, and we were pushing against it. So I know I've mentioned I don't think there's a ton of there's a huge barrier at 40,000. I think the bigger barrier is going to be 42 to 43,000. I think there's going to be more resistance at that level. The only reason 40K looked like it held so strong is we really didn't have the volume being pushed in to really get through that wall. So yeah, I'm hoping hopefully tomorrow when the news comes out, Ukraine was able to hold Kiev. Hopefully Russia, with everybody coming in against them, gets smarter about what they're doing and just knocks it off. Would be great. But yeah, it's something I'll be watching closely. Hoping it gets resolved really soon. I know the Fed's going to come out with their interest rate talks soon, and that has a high chance of hurting the market. Depends on how much they want to raise the interest rates, or if they want to just continue kicking the can down the road because of all the other global events that have happened. But we definitely have some more news coming in that, based on how it comes out, could be bearish or bullish. So yeah, I'll be waiting patiently. I'm still not in anything substantially right now. Kind of just waiting on the sidelines, waiting to see how this plays out. And I think that's, sometimes that's the best play. A lot of people get themselves in trouble with the just kind of trading because you're bored or because you want to see the market move. But in times of uncertainty, it's okay to just sit back and chill, work on yourself, take a class that you've wanted to take, go to the gym, spend time with your family. Take this time to work on you is my recommendation. So yeah, I'll be back with another video tomorrow. I hope this is helpful. I know there's not a ton to talk about as far as charts are concerned. I just don't want to go into them when Bitcoin's uncertain, because it's dangerous territory. I mean, they can pump or crash without Bitcoin choosing a direction. So I'm playing it safe, so I'm not going to recommend or push any type of agenda if there's not one there. So till then, I'll catch you all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night. Have a good Sunday, and I'll catch you in the next video. Till then, peace.